the tough days and the good days, and you got a 5-year-old. Oh, and
It's a lot
yeah,
more. It's a lot more manageable now that he's. It's funny, because he was 2 when I won my pro card, and he was 1 when I came back and did my first show to qualify for nationals, and so he's kind of. And I always planned to get back into it after I had him, but it's just it's a fun experience for me as a mom that he's a part of all of it and that he's there and he sees me, and that's how he knows me because I've been doing that since he was born. So he doesn't think anything of it. He thinks it's normal that mommy has muscles and gets on stage and goes to the gym every day, and he's used to that because that's what he's grown up with. So I hope that has a big impact on him positively in the future. So
yeah. I've done quite a few ladies who have children. Some as young as your son, and some is up in their 20s and 30s, seeing their mom changing their body, involving. Some even was inspired by their mother getting to. I interviewed a lady a while back. He's a IFB bikini pro. She has a son. He's like 21. He's thinking about competing. He's already working in training. He's a nice young man. Others just really say, what, seeing their mom being something different, and it's good that maybe inspire him, both him, you, and his father, get into sport. Maybe he might be the next, I don't know, Jay Cutler, or maybe the next, Derek Lungford, or the next big Rami in his future. We have here a comment from my man. Shout out to my man Damon. He says, "You can be Jean Grey, aka Phoenix." That's pretty cool. Appreciate that, brother. Also, he says this. Give me a second. Something popped up. Let me get rid of that. And he says this. He says, yeah, Rachel Gray would be perfect for Candace. Look up to her. If you don't know her, I believe she's Jean Grey's daughter. I think she's an alternative universe version of Jean Grey and Scott Summer Cyclops' daughter.
okay.
Also, we have here a man, KL. He says she looks like the android girl from Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta girl. Okay, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. So, one thing I ask you, ladies, especially after that last show, after that, years of prepping, that months of prepping, the diets, yeah, consistency, the opportunity. That sometimes, food is a very important part to your body, but sometimes we desire certain foods, And as my other guy would say, sometimes what things don't make you stranger, make you stronger. So tell me, share with me, Candace, where's that thing? That thing you had at your last show, the thing that you wanted, that thing that you desired. Tell me.
I'm a donut girl through and through. I wanted donuts so badly, and I we were in Orlando, so I got Voodoo Donuts, which was cool for me because I had never tried Voodoo Donuts before. It was it was moderately underwhelming, I think, because I hyped it up so much. And that's with anything though, like you hype yourself up, like this is gonna be like amazing, it's gonna be so good, and then you have it and you're like, well, that was okay. It's like it wasn't like life changing. But I was crazy about donuts. I wanted all the donuts, and I'm a pumpkin girl. My birthday's in October. I love pumpkin everything. I'm one of those um, crazy pumpkin people. Just go crazy for pumpkin. I know, but it. I was just like hoarding everything pumpkin. I had pumpkin Oreos. I had pumpkin pretzels. It was just like anything pumpkin. I was just getting it. Pumpkin donuts. Just anything pumpkin, and it was to me that's amazing. That's what I love is doing those types of things. So eating pumpkin pretzels and pumpkin donuts, and after the show, that was just like it made my heart happy, I guess, and my stomach.
Where you sound like you might be an addict. You might sound like Pookie, New Jack City. You're like, you're calling my name. The pumpkins are calling my name. Pumpkin, you
It
be
is.
calling me,
It is.
man. You be calling
I.
me.
It is that serious. It is. Yeah, I love it.
I can tell you, as a fat man, yeah, one thing I love. I don't eat it too often because at one point I was almost 500 pounds, And I changed my life because I was taking care of my mom for a long time. And when she passed, it was time to take care of me. And I was in the best shape, And also, I have a pacemaker, had it for 10 years. And I decided to change my eating habits and, cut certain foods out and try to eat a little better. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder, but I do try to want to live a little longer. And I can tell you one thing I love. When I remember a while back, me and my oldest sister and my oldest nephew, we went to the next town over. There's a Chinese buffet place. I just say, you go there. I don't get the rice. I don't like the rice and the eggs. I get the noodles. And I get some like a chicken, a little there, get some egg rolls, I get to that, and yeah, it's just I'm a Chinese loving whore. And it tastes so good. But I remember one time, this was a while back, and I was going to see one of my cardiologists. My nephew told me, well, get some stuff because it was Mother's Day. I had to pick up something for my sister because my mother's passed, so we celebrate her. And I was hungry, and I stopped by this Chinese restaurant, and I ate it, but because I changed some aspects of it, it's just not the same. Especially when you, like I said, you took those few years before you got back to it after you had your son. It's just food is different when you change how you eat and your habits.
Yep. No, it is for sure. I think your taste buds kind of change too. There's certain things that I really don't like, and people think it's weird, but I'm like, I'm not used to eating it. I never eat it. It's the flavor is too intense because I like the sugar-free version instead of the sugar version, and that's not for health reasons. It's just literally I like the taste better, but it's because you like evolve in like I think your taste buds kind of just change. Like this is too intense. Like I like this one better, so you just kind of change. What you like.
Yeah, everybody has everything changed, especially when you change your diet, change your habits, when you find better things to eat, healthy ways to eat. Because you know what? This is not just, it's a lifestyle change. You're becoming a different person than you were before. Like I said, I've talked to ladies who were overweight, who got into bodybuilding, and then because of this, being a bodybuilder has really changed their look when it comes to fitness and health. Often you hear these typical stories, like especially you train people and they tell you, I don't want to get big as you.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it takes muscle to really, especially if you have issues like I have arthritis because years, not genetics, stuff like that. I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it takes that muscle to help your body to keep it going.
Right.
And you just can't simply take a magic pill. It does help the process. Like I interview basically natural bodybuilding. That's totally different because it takes longer to put on the size and the muscle and the density and compared to hands. But again, if you're not consistent, if you don't follow your set rules that's given to you by your coach, it's important that you have a coach because I know somebody said they don't have a coach and they've done pretty good, but you need that other eye to see the things that you're missing.
Right. Right. Yeah, and it's amazing too. I'm really really interested to see how it turns out. I was around 152, 153 whenever I won my pro card at nationals. And I'm well. It's funny because I'm 5'9", but the NPC you're like much shorter than you really are all the time. It's very odd. So they they measured me at 5'7.5", even though I've been told I'm 5'9" my whole life. But I weighed in. I was like 152, 153, I think, at nationals, and so it'll be interesting. I pushed hard to try to put on muscle these past 2 years, and I think I did. I'm hoping. I'm guessing 4 to 5 pounds is what I put on, and I'm hoping that's the case. Um, but it's just amazing. People, you say that, and people might not think that's a lot, but that is a lot to put on, like actual muscle within that time frame. I mean, it like you said, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of eating. It takes a lot of recovery and pushing and training, and there's a lot that goes into it. You can't just miraculously gain uh, legit muscle that fast, especially for females. It's harder. So
Mm. Yeah, because women bodies are different. Women, they you do carry more, a higher BMI compared to men. Men can like burn off fat like that because we have testosterone, we have more muscle density. Women, you this is how I said this. The purpose of men's life is to battle, breed, and die. That's it. We're done. But for y'all women, y'all are nurturers. You take care of our family, our homes, our children. Your purpose is to be, more, be a woman. But when you get into the sport of bodybuilding, you understand you're an athlete and you dedicate yourself to something that's totally different than the norm. You're one thing is I've had ladies tell me that how people might make comments like, "Hey, yeah, she's trying to be a man." Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the thing is, if you have the same discipline as this woman has, you wouldn't be saying that. You would say, "I respect your discipline, but you work. You don't like it." How my man Brother Max says, "People don't like you, fuck them."
Right.
You gotta live for you. You can't live for nobody else. Here we got my man. Shout out to my man Damon J. He's sticking around here. I appreciate you, brother, for keeping up with us. He says, "Who is Candace's favorite Ivy women's physique pros athletes currently? Who does she like the most? Like, is anybody you follow that you like? If you ever get to meet him, you be like,
um, I I followed Natalia a lot. Um, just being from women's physique and following women's physique. Um, I was following her a lot. Someone that I really found interesting was, I don't know why her name is escaping me. I think her first name is Amy.
"Mm,
Um, she had knee surgery last year, and I think she's French. I want to say, um, but what fascinates,
you mean Anne Marie Moon?"
yeah, yeah, no, is that
Yeah, because that's the only one I know. She's French. There's three French competitors. There's Sophie Leo. She's had a birthday a couple of days ago. Barbara Majan, who's announced she's going to do the Pittsburgh Pro this year, and there's Anne Lorraine Moon, and she had knee surgery a while back.
yes, yes. And the reason why I find her so fascinating is because she's tall. Because being tall in bodybuilding is hard, and so, you're especially being the tall person. Now that there's not height classes for me, you're competing against someone that's 5'4" standing next to you, and maybe they weigh the same as you do. You have to show better than that. So it's just she fascinates me because she is tall, and so I kind of always went off of like how much she weighed and her proportion, and you kind of start to, because you want to kind of relate, I think, to some people and kind of go from there. So I always thought she was, I mean, and I think she's very pretty competitor whenever she competes and everything, and that's something that's huge for me is like the femininity. Like I I love feminine bodybuilders that you know they look phenomenal, and then they still have like that feminine aspect to them, because that's what I want to hold on to, and that's what I want to embody. And so I think she has that, and I love that she's tall in women's physique, and she's up there in the top five majority of the time, holding her own, because we don't have the advantage as tall women. These shorter women, they're stacked because they don't have as much ground to cover. So I feel like we have to kind of try twice as hard a little bit to.
Well, I know quite a few ladies who like you're height 5'9", 5'8". I even know a lady who's 6 foot tall. It's a lot harder because you got to think about it. Your arms and legs are a lot longer, and it takes more time for you to put on mass compared to somebody who's like you look at somebody like Michaela Akon, who's barely 5 feet tall. You look at some ladies like 5'4". Look at Andrea, she's 5'5". I think that's the guideline for really building muscle for women. If you're something under 5'7", because one thing when you get that short, because you're losing the fat in the pad of your feet, so that cuts down maybe a couple of inches. I got a friend, her name's Tina. Tina's like 5'9". She's a women's bodybuilder, massive, great physique. It took her a little while to really put on that muscle, but she's very well. She's been to the Rise Phoenix a couple of times, and she's competing this year because she took a break a while back, and she competed last year. But yeah, it's a lot tougher if you're a taller competitor to put on mass and size. Um, Here we got here a comment from my man Damien says it's amazing how many people have Natalia Cuejo. She like love Natalia Cuejo. she's that popular among the bodybuilding and fitness community that should tell you something. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hers. She's been even my comments kind of checkers a couple of times and even follow me, but I'm a fan of who she is as a bodybuilder, but not a fan as competitive per se.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have here. What?
I will say, Jessica Reyes Padilla. She actually works out at the gym that I work out at, and she is super nice. I think she looks phenomenal, and she's extremely nice. She came up and talked to me, and uh, was talking to me. Asking me questions like, "What show are you doing? Like, you look great." And I was like, "Thank you. You look great." It's like, but she's very nice, and I love that whenever you meet very like the ones that are very popular, and they're just so humble and willing to have like great conversations with you. So that was really nice. I talked to her the other day.
Yeah, I know Jessica right now. She might be the next Miss Olympia or somebody else. Missy Trescott. She's throwing a hat in for the figure championship, and possibly one day you might compete against her at a show, Jessica. I mean, she's top
True.
competitor, and I agree with you. Yeah, because I remember my first fighting show I went. I met some nice ladies. I met Don Salib, a couple of ladies I interviewed a while back. Sheena Oleg. Sheena Oleg's a big donut freak. She loves donuts. Some ladies who were legends. I got to meet Alina Popa, and that was just great. I mean,
I love her. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I saw Linda Murray. She even smiled at me. I've been talking with back and forth on social media, and she follows my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. She follows me. And this is the thing about one person I said again I love is Andrea. And I bring this out because a friend of mine, her name is Eunice Kitchens. She lives right there in Texas. She runs her own company, Bad Rap. You ever heard of it? And Eunice was at the 2023 Olympia when it was in Orlando, and she saw Andrea, and it was like right before my birthday was, and she did this for me. She went to Andrea, and she did this,
Aw, that's awesome.
and that's why I love her. She does. She's just great muscle femininity. I mean, people I've interviewed say she has a great personality. I mean, I'm just a fan of this lady. Here we got here from a man, Lawrence Perkin coming through. He says, "Good evening, Candace, George, and everyone on the chat. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you." Also, this is from Mikael. Says, "Could you dunk a basketball for someone?" Or what's in figure? Because you're tall, so yeah, he's a smart ass.
I don't know if I'm that tall, and I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you got to be really tall. You got like Angel Reese or something like that tall to do that. We got here from a man. Damon says Anne Lorraine Moon was my favorite. Yeah, it's good. I think she might. I don't know if she's gonna be coming back and competing this year. The knee surgery was like almost a year or so ago. Takes a while.
I
You
saw a
may see
video
her.
of her training pretty hard the other day, so I was like, okay,
Yeah,
maybe.
but it's one thing dudes train hard and get ready to compete. She might be just like I said, still rehabbing. It takes some time,
Right.
but she might possibly. I know one lady who I follow, Helen Trevino, had knee surgery because she had to take some bone fragments out of her knee, and I see she's training hard. So there's a possibility that she might be coming back. So we just hope and see. Here we got here from this is I say his name as uh whatever his name. I'm going to delete him because I don't know his name is. I'm not gonna say it. But Candace is sexy. Also, he says, when is she competing again? Well, brother, if you were here earlier, she's going to plan on competing in a few weeks in April. She already has a show set. So if you want to know, you can watch the replay again and you can find out. Because, hey, don't come in late. You come in late, I'm not going to tell you everything. So, that's it. Also, he says, Anne Lorraine is awesome. Anne Lorraine would say, and yeah, so yeah, she is cool. I mean, top level competitor, I've even interviewed Barbara Majan, a fellow country woman, and she is an amazing lady. And it's great to see. I hope she gets her qualification for Olympia. She was trying to get it last year, but she missed it. But anyway, so we're not gonna hold her much too longer. She's a busy lady. She got a kid to take care of. She got a man to take care of. She got a house to take care of. You know, it's a lot to be a woman in this sport. The time you got to put in, the work you got to put in. It can be, it's again very draining because when we go to the shows, we don't understand the diet, the consistency. You're tired, you're dehydrated, you're, It's just so much involved. But what we see on the stage is these amazing bodies, beautiful, conditioned, just something just to awe at. But there's so much work involved in it when you get to that level.
There is. It's and it's hard to explain too. I think. I think you can explain it and you can say it. Even my clients that I have, they obviously they know who I am and what I do, and they know I'm training for a show. And even them sometimes they'll ask me like, "Are you okay? You just seem, you seem kind of out of it, or you seem kind of tired." And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm just, I am tired. I'm existing right now because I'm doing checking all the boxes, and sometimes that's really easy, and some days it's really hard. And but you still have to do it, and you make the most of it. So, but even though they know they don't really know. They don't really grasp like how much it takes out of you and like how much you have to push and put into it.
Yeah, it's good that you have your husband. He understands it because he was in it. Your coach is there. Your family may not understand it, but they do support you. That's good. You know, family support is very important when you can in sport because, like I say, I know ladies who said again their family understand it and they kind of just kind of back away from it. You lost friends because their friends understand because you're not the same person you used to be because you have grown into a new self, a new life, and it's not the same as the life you had before.
Right.
Because this is a sport you have to do for a passion. The ladies tell me, say George, I'm not here to make money. It'd be nice if I could,
Be
if I'm
great.
lucky enough to
Yeah.
get sponsorship. Yeah, it'd be great if you get sponsorship. Like you might get to say, hey there, Candace. I really like the shows. You're a nice little redhead. But no, stop that. That's what you no. This is what you're supposed to say. Say, Miss Walton, we are interested in you. We are passionate about bodybuilding and what you want from it, and we would like to sponsor you. So, if you ever feel the need to join our company and become a brand ambassador athlete, we have great opportunities for you. So, if it's something that works with you and your interests, then let us know, and then we'll make sure we set you up in the future. So, madam, would you be interested in working with us?
The crazy thing is about all of that is the it used to be so much more. I feel like it used to be so much more of that of what the but I feel like it's become a lot harder to engage and to get that out of people. Like you said, the brand ambassador thing got really big and really popular, and the athlete sponsorship I feel like kind of like got smaller. And so now it's like all about they want just people to market for them, but that doesn't necessarily do much for you. So it's crazy to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I think most society focus more on, as I said, the TNA divisions like bikini or wellness because they're more overlooked as easy attainable. Now, fit models coming in, it's also a lot more easy attainable. But y'all women in figure, physique, women's bodybuilding, because I'm a fan of women's bodybuilding, been a fan for a long time, and I've really grown to become fond of physique. And even I've interviewed ladies in figure. I really get to to acknowledge your commitment as much as the others. And so again, not too a big fan of bikini because I find it wellness. I'm particularly interested in it because it kind of I just but I really respect you ladies, especially the work and the time you put into this. Not everybody can do what y'all do. It's only such a few people who want to stick around. I know competitors who got their pro card and say, you know what, I'm done, or they just after a long time competing as an amateur, say, you know what, there's something better in life I can do besides this. But again, you have to do this as a passion. You have to love what you do because if you don't love what you do it, then what's the point of doing it? We got here from a man Lawrence Perkins, shout out to Lawrence. He's always giving good advices. Miss Candace, keep on striving on what in front of you. And every day you're always a winner for people to inspire others. Thank you, brother. Also, this is from the dude. I'm gonna say his name. He says, "Wow, she's a pro. I didn't know that. I lost time. I saw her compete in Texas." Well, you see the title says IFBB Pro. So And also this from a man, shout out to my man again. Lawrence says, everyone take care. Another great interview. Appreciate that, brother. And also, this my man Damon says, what's his name? Take a chill pill, buddy. I'm joking. And also, this is from my man Damon. Shout out to Damon again. Thank you again, brother. Says, I like, wait a minute. Something pop up. Say, says, I like, what's he? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've got problems. My computer's acting up. He says this. He says, uh, I like that too with fit model division, wellness, and bikini. Well, like I said, you can like it, but I'm kind of indifferent about it. But like I said, I will interview competitors because I'm a fan of bodybuilding. I really want to open, like I said again, mostly I was really more a fan of women's bodybuilding, but I really have really tried to open my pathways to other divisions, talk to the competitors, get their mindset. I may not like your division, but I will respect you as an athlete. That's how I feel. Yeah, yeah. So, say, wait a minute, say, oh, wait a minute. Uh, he says, nah, I didn't like those divisions. Okay. I appreciate that, brother. He says, hey, I got a correction because my computer's going in now. I need to get a new computer. Technology. But, so man, like I said, we're not teaching much longer. We do appreciate the time you give us here. Um, what would you want out of bodybuilding for yourself?
Whenever I first started bodybuilding, I told my husband then, he wasn't my husband then, but I said this to him, because he asked me that when he first met me, like, what's your goal in all of this? And I said, my goal is to go to the Olympia. And whenever we first got together, we went, I think, 2 or 3 years. Um, we were very into it. We went to the Olympia and watched it, and that was when I was a big fan of Alina Papa when she was competing. And I actually sat behind her on a bus, and I had that like celebrity moment. But I I loved it. I loved that we went and experienced it and saw it. And I told him very early on when I first started, I'm gonna be up there. I'm going to stand up there. And that's my ultimate goal. And everyone always asks, how long are you gonna do this for? And that's kind of usually my answer. It's like I'm gonna do it until I do what I said I was gonna do. And whenever I first got into bodybuilding and I saw it and started following it, the Olympia is the show. And that's my ultimate goal. It doesn't I don't need to win it. Obviously that would be great, but I don't need to win it. But I want to be there on stage at the Olympia, and I want to compete against the best, and I want to be able to say that I did that in my pro bodybuilding career.
That's great because I know last year I interviewed three ladies who made their Olympia debut, and that was a great opportunity for them. It's a lot of work to get there. The Olympia is the biggest stage. Some people say the Arnold, but Arnold don't carry physique or figure.
Yeah.
Like I said, I keep saying this. I love the man's movies, Terminator, the Carpenter, but I don't like his politics when it comes down to the women's divisions. I understand you can't say it's a money thing. If you can give Derek Lone for $500,000, you could take it and you put it towards the other divisions, but it's just as a fan and as again my crime again, I'm also very small. I just like y'all actually taking my interest, but I respect your passion because I said again, most people wouldn't understand this sport or put themselves through what y'all put yourself through the dieting, the training, the being consistent, eating the same thing day after day, trying to maintain. It's tough, especially I would say for a woman to maintain your femininity because it's again the use of performance enhancing steroids is always an issue with it. But as long as you know how far you want to go and where you want to take yourself, you can go as long as you want. Some people compete for 20 years. There's an interview lady who competed for nearly 40 years as a bodybuilder, and she retired last year. She's planning on making a return this year. She's a couple years off. I know ladies who stepped away from bodybuilding for a long time. They came back because it's just that passion, that drive. It's like how the best selector says, Like Rocky Balboa says, I'm a fighter. That's how I'm built. And that's the thing with your bodybuilders. Your bodybuilders is how you built. Here we got here a comment. My man Damon J. Shout out to Damien says, big dreams come true. Yeah, I appreciate that, brother. He says, if I had a movie production and was doing an X-Men movie, I would definitely cast you as Rachel Gray for sure. Oh, thank you, brother. I mean, hey, you got a job. I mean, that's one thing I think
Let's do it.
Hollywood, yeah, Hollywood can really need more women with muscle. I mean, to play these roles. Fix with the comics, Wonder Woman. I mean, she was all right woman. I like the girl Gadot, but you need a woman with a little bit more size to her. I
Right.
mean, but because society doesn't think of it as feminine to have muscle, and one thing I remember a few years ago when they did the Terminator movies, they were talking about Linda Hamilton's arms, Tina Turner, and what stuff got to do with her arms and legs, but there is a fan base for it. I know they call us guys schmoes, and I mean I'm a schmo, I make my crime, but we love the aspect of seeing women grow and develop and respect it. Yes, there's some guys can be a little bit too freaky, and there's guys who might be a little bit too standoffish when it comes to it. But doing this content, I get to learn what it takes to be not just a woman, an athlete in the sport. And that's something I think most people would never understand or be able to do. But you found your niche, you found your passion, and you're willing to go as far as you want to go. That's good. You got a good man standing by side you. You got your family there. You got your little boy there who he knows his mama's a muscle mommy. But it's good that you found yourself. And whatever you do, that's up to you.
Yep.
Mhm. So before I let you go, ma'am, you have anybody you want to give a shout out to?
um, I guess I've talked about him a lot through this interview. Give a shout out to my husband. He's actually at work right now. He's a first responder, out there saving lives, and he was very busy today. So I hope his day got better. I talked to him earlier, and it was a little stressful. So, but he works hard. So shout out to him for sure. And one of my gyms that I work out at, Fox Fitness, they do sponsor me, so I appreciate them supporting my, like you said, like supporting the